Hi, I am Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I'm your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs. I am also a legal document assistant, LDA, based in the greater Los Angeles area. So let's talk today about your divorce and the impact it may have on your children. The emotional impact. Listen, we know that you're going through a hard time right now. Divorce really sucks. It bites. It's hard to parent when your heart is broken or when you are in fear. But your children have emotions too, and their needs don't stop because of this divorce. And in fact, usually they increase. And I know you know this, but let's just kind of walk through some of these things. And really, the goal of this video is to help explain how mediation can help your children. They're not coming to mediation, just the parents are coming to mediation, but it can actually really help them in this transition phase. So the purpose, the reason mediation helps is because instead of you sitting down here and looking up at the judge and this person deciding the fate of your children and their lives, and the stress that you guys are experiencing while you're waiting for that court date to happen and the fighting that goes back and forth, instead of that, it's you guys at a table. Okay, a metaphorical table, because we meet on Zoom. Okay, you're at a metaphorical Zoom table. And you guys are looking at one another, and there's a mediator there. And your children become the focus. Instead of looking up here and having someone decide something, you guys are looking at one another and deciding, what do we do about these kids? We are keeping our children at the center of the divorce. So kids, sometimes they feel like they're the blame, they're the cause, they are to blame for this divorce. If they were just better, if they did something differently, or maybe they could even run their own parent trap and put their families back together, and it's this magical, happy time. And we know that that's not true. We know that that's not going to happen, but in their young minds, no matter how old they are, in their young minds, there's this fantasy, or there's this destructive thought pattern that it is all my fault, or I can fix it. So they may feel a lot of guilt. There's going to be anxiety because what's going to happen? Who am I going to live with? When am I going to see them? How do I navigate this? Do I have to go to a different school? There's a lot of questions that they have, and you're like, okay, well, what's going to happen to my health insurance? Is there going to be child support? You're worrying about these bigger things, but remember, our children's worlds are small, and so these things are a big deal for them, and they are not going to forget how they felt in that moment. They're going to grow up. They're going to be 80 years old and remember your divorce. So this is important how you treat this. So if this is not handled properly as they grow older, they may develop trust issues. They may develop academic issues. It's really, really important for our children to have healthy relationships modeled for them. And a healthy relationship includes disagreement. It includes people who fight, who argue. And but it's not the destructive type of conflict. It's constructive conflict. They should see how to make things right, how to have a disagreement and build from that and create something new, how to reconcile, how to forgive, how to apologize, how to move on. So it's not that your divorce is bad, it's about what you're modeling, and make sure that you don't isolate them so much that they never get to see anything healthy. They need to see healthy relationships so that they can go act that out as they get older. If they don't have that role model, then it's going to be worse for them. Now, in the immediate future, though, there are different signs of stress for your children. And this varies based on age. One of the signs of stress is a change in behavior. They can have mood swings. They may be more aggressive. Maybe they withdraw. They have less interest in their normal activities. Sometimes you have those physical symptoms, that kid who always has a stomach ache or who just has some sort of change in eating, whether it's a lot more, usually it's a lot less, or they're not sleeping well at night, that's a good sign of stress. A prolonged night after night of not sleeping well. And depending on the needs of your child and the age of your child, there may be some progress that was made, and now because life has changed and they're under stress, they may regress. Emotionally too, additional things are, you might see this in their emotions. They may be more sad, they may be angry, they could be excessively worried. Here's one you might not realize is a sign of stress. Suddenly, they are clingy. They become clingy. It could be a 12-year-old boy, and he is clingy to his parents. Not typical for his age. Their grades may change. Their behavior in school may change. They may get rid of their friends and isolate themselves. They may end up with a new friend group. So there's lots of changes that can happen. So how does mediation help you in this, right? Because mediation doesn't address the children. The children are not invited to mediation. I don't care how old they are. They not getting a divorce. Y'all's are. So how does this help them? It helps them because, like I said earlier, you're looking at one another and you're focusing on your child. It allows you to make agreements and plans in the best interest of your child, to get your focus off of yourself, right? Because you're looking at this person and you're like, I hope this judge up here is going to decide this for me. And instead of looking at one another and looking and thinking about your children and going, what's best for our kid? We have ownership of this decision here. We cannot put this off on somebody in a black robe. We have ownership of this decision here. So as you reduce your conflict, as you learn to create plans, and then maybe having to change plans and resolve that issues and develop a different communication style, that's going to help your children. Transitioning from a marital relationship to solely a co-parenting relationship and really keeping those boundary lines clear and professional. And so part of professional means friendly. Not everybody in the divorce world likes to use the word friendly. I appreciate it when my colleagues are friendly. I appreciate when my co-parent is friendly. My co-parent appreciates it when I am friendly. It's respectful. It's what you do. Maybe that's a California thing. Californians are nice, like we're polite. Is that the right word? Yeah, I think so. We're not always kind, right? East Coasters would say Californians aren't kind. They won't help you change a tire, but we are nice. Oh, I'm sorry you're having a bad day. Good luck with that. We're nice. We're respectful. We're not going to call you an idiot. Okay? You have to kind of use some of that California niceness on your ex. Whether they deserve it or not. You know, this is kind of how I roll. Doesn't matter if they deserve it or not. It's not about them. It's about your kids. It's about you. It's about your internal stress. It's about the stress that's wreaking havoc on your body. So the more you resolve conflict, you're creating a more stable environment for your kids. The judge may just straight up hand out 50-50 custody and be like, you're going to do this, this, and this. But you know your kids. So you come to mediation and go, can we work up to a 50-50 plan to give them time to adjust? Oh, yeah, I don't think they need a 50-50 plan, actually. I'm happy for you to have a little bit more time with them. Not that I don't want time with our kids, but I think the stability that you provide to help them with schoolwork or X, Y, and Z is really useful. And this will allow me to work more so that we can have increased support for the kids so that they can go back between two households and things are better. Y'all don't believe me, but this stuff happens all the time. I know you don't believe me. Not everyone fights for 50-50 custody. And not everyone fights for, I'm not paying you any child support. More often than not, I'm beginning to see more and more. Let's have joint custody, but it doesn't have to be 50-50. What is best for our children? And let me make sure that the support payment is high. I know the DissoMaster report says I only have to pay this amount, but I don't think that's right. I know our kids. We're going to need a little bit more than that. It is happening more and more, and that is the norm. It's becoming the norm because people are recognizing my parents' divorce was rough on me. How can I make this better for my kids? How come I not pull my kids away from their other parent and their friends and their home and disrupt their system? Because, as your kids get older, they're not going to want to be with you. There is a dance on Friday night after the football game. They don't want to go to your house. They want to go to their friend's house. Okay. Mediation allows you that creativity. It's not that the judge wouldn't say, yeah, sure, you can do this. But the judge doesn't have time for you guys to go back and forth and negotiate and reach an agreement. They're going to decide for you if you can't. The purpose of mediation when you have kids is to create a customized solution for your children that works for them. No matter their needs, no matter their ability levels, no matter the income that their parents have, the distance, it doesn't matter. It is about creating a new family structure that everyone can be on the same page with so that you can lessen your stress. You can start your new lives, your new roles as co-parents, and be there for your kids and support them. They will bounce back. They will bounce back. But in order for them to bounce back, you have to give them a soft landing. And a soft landing is creating a plan that takes into account their needs, not just yours. If you need help doing this, you probably do. I'm here to help you. I am here to help you with this because our children are important. Your kids are important and they need their parents healthy and thriving and not fighting. Because y'all need to be a united front, especially when they turn teenagers, okay? Don't let them pit you guys against one another. Have a great week. You can do this. I'm here to support you.